Hey y'all, Lisa Davis here, the trusted banker. And yeah, I want to say I'm very upset with this with these people, with this Democratic Party. I'm very upset with the way that they voted. I'm very upset with the fact that none of them look like me, and the things that they're voting for are going to affect and impact people that look like me. I'm very upset with the fact that these people do not listen to what the majority of the people have said, and all of these people need to be voted out. Let's take it off. I want y'all to see all the names, these people need to be voted out. Gary Peters announced earlier last month that he was going to be retiring. Good, he needs to go. I am very upset that they passed the budget, that they passed the CR, because they went into a fight not ready to fight. And so they need to know that if they won't fight, we're going to fight with them, and we're going to put them out because they're not representing what the people want. And yeah, I get that there's some people that are afraid to have a government shutdown, but you guys are on the wrong side of everything if you're afraid to fight for what's right. And a lot of people that are looking like these people that don't look like me people are the ones that are afraid for the government to be shut down, when in all actuality they're shutting down the government anyways. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable if you're going to stand on some business. If you're going to stand 10 toes down on something and you want to get your point across, you can't be afraid to take whatever extreme measures are necessary in order to get your point across. And it is just so strange to me that all of these pasty colored people are the reason that the CR got passed. Meanwhile, the pasty colored people that are losing their jobs are the ones that are online crying. They can't believe that the pasty colored man or the Cheeto colored man that they voted for is the one that's responsible for bringing in the other little pasty colored little South African that's getting rid of the monies that are going towards all of the programming that some of these DEI hires, which were pasty colored women, they're losing their jobs, or the one that are in government. And this is the biggest problem in this government, pretty much. This is the big problem. These people right here that don't know how to come together and stand on business. If the majority of your party is voting one way, then you vote with your party. You don't cross the line. You don't cross the line. You had no good reason. John Fetterman, I want him to go so bad. I never even heard of this dude until today. Didn't hear of John Fetterman. Glad Gary Peters is out. Chuck Schumer needs to leave. Don't know these other people, but Brian Schatz better get it together because he's too young to be making mistakes like this. Your area, the people that vote for you, the people that you represent, are not going to be happy with the outcomes of what's about to happen now. And the other thing that I don't agree with is that putting a Band-Aid on something that is looming anyways. What are we putting a Band-Aid on it for? Shutting down the government is not any worse than all these people that are now have lost their jobs because of the government. Like, please, somebody help me to understand, like, if they shut down the government, what would have been so bad about that? It's not like the Republicans have never shut down the government. It's not like the government has ever not been shut down. Last time Trump was in office, the government got shut down for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something like that. How are y'all not able to stand on business? How are y'all not able to stand on business? These people need to go. These people need to go. Gary Peters is retiring. The rest of them need to go, including Chuck Schumer. How dare they not listen to the people? I've been calling all day. I've been emailing all day. Nobody wanted to see this go through. I'm pissed. So let's look. So what does this mean, right? So what does it mean? Senate passes 6-month funding bill hours before shutdown deadline. We had all the way until midnight. Chuck Schumer is so weak to me. He's got to go. I'm sick of these people. The Senate passed a 6-month spending bill on Friday, hours before a government shutdown. What is we in a hurry for? Overcoming sharp Democratic opposition to the measure and sending it to President Donald Trump to be signed into law. A 6-month spending bill. And I thought the CR was supposed to give a 30-day. I thought that the deal that was on the table was a 30-day extension, not a 6-month spending bill. Not a 6-month spending bill. And then Democrats voiced frustration that Republicans went ahead with a measure they said included little input from them. The vote was 54-46 because they went ahead and put their budget through, and the budget had nothing to do with Democrats wanted. Pennsylvania, y'all need to get rid of John Fetterman. Hawaii, y'all need to get rid of who is the person that's in Hawaii? Y'all need to get rid of these people. Y'all need to get rid of these people. Democrats were confronted with two painful options: allowing passage of a bill they believe gives Donald Trump vast discretion on spending decisions, or voting no and letting a funding lapse ensue. Either way it goes. That's the dumb part. That's the dumb part. Either way it goes. You screwed if you do and you screwed if you don't. So then don't. It doesn't even make sense to me. These are people that have never had to fight for nothing. And here is going to be the big divide. And these people don't need to be in office. If this is how they're going to show up the first time, the first little bitty battle you had, and you failed. You failed. And it ain't even 90 days in, and you're a failure. Chuck Schumer, Gary Peters. You guys are a failure. This is what the next 4 years are going to look like. Y'all need to go. Y'all need to go. Y'all need to go. Period. Y'all need to go. This hasn't even been 90 days. They done fired tens of thousands of people. They done paused funding that you got approved last year before he was even in office for housing. HUD funding. The United States Department of Housing and Urban Development passed funding in 2024. The RFPs went out in January 2024. The funding got approved in November 2024. And this administration has blocked $3.6 billion of 2024 funding that they haven't even put out yet. Yet you guys couldn't even come together and stop them from putting out another budget. They're not even putting the money out that was approved from last year, from a different administration. All y'all need to go. All y'all need to go. All y'all need to go. You can't stand up. The first 90 days, you had one battle. You had one job. You had one thing to do. And because some people are going to be uncomfortable, now everybody's going to be uncomfortable because you gave them a 6-month spending bill. They done showed you the first 50 days how they're going to use their money and their power, and you gave them another 6 months. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They cut 50% of the Department of Education. They got rid of 70,000 people at IRS. They got rid of all. We can go on and on about all the people that done lost their jobs. So these people got to sit at home with their jobs lost, but you're afraid to shut it down. So some people have to sit at home while you negotiate how to run this country better for the people. You are in there because of the people. Y'all need to go. Y'all are the weakest link. And John Fetterman, with your little crybaby looking self, you need to go today. You ain't been doing nothing but whining all over the internet. I ain't never heard of you until today. And every time I look you up, you're whining. You need to go. Take your little whiny butt home and don't come back. And Angus King, a name like Angus King, you need to go. Janine Shaheen, 77 years old, foolishness, you need to go. Brian Schatz, get out of here. You're too young to be making stupid decisions like this. Catherine Cortez, you need to go. Dick Durbin, take your old ass home. You need to go. Y'all better vote these people out. 6 months is a lifetime. They're going to jack stuff up so bad over the next 6 months. That CR was not business as usual. Thank you, Gray Matters. It was not business as usual. And y'all had one. This was your first test and you failed. I'm so pissed. This was your first test. This was your first test and you failed. All y'all need to go. All y'all need to go. Y'all little punks, all y'all need to go. Every single state, if you see your representative up here, y'all need to vote them out. Vote them out because the next 6 months is going to be crazy. They just gave them an open checkbook. An open checkbook, which is what they wanted. Social Security, so you scared to shut down the government, so for some people to be uncomfortable for 3 or 4 weeks. But if they get rid of Social Security, so disabled people, right? Seniors, people on fixed income due to whatever, Medicaid and Medicare, they gave them an open checkbook. This is ridiculous. Chuck Schumer need to go. I'm sorry, he needs to go. He needs to go. You don't go against your party. If the majority of your party wants to do something, then you do what the party says do. Too many people. This is how I know y'all not listening, because too many people have been talking about shut down the government. Democrats were faced with two painful options: allowing passage of a bill they believe gives President Donald Trump vast discretion on spending decisions, or voting no and letting a funding lapse ensue. It's so crazy to me because a funding lapse is in here now anyways. Do y'all not see all the people that done lost their jobs? Schumer gave members of his caucus days to vent their frustrations. This isn't about Schumer giving the members days to vent their frustration. This is about you listening. This is about you listening and doing what the people ask you to do. I don't like people that just listen to people to vent. Nobody needs permission to vent. And then he abruptly switched course. He said yesterday what he was going to do. He said it yesterday. So he knew no matter what, he was standing with the Republicans. Punk ass. On the eve of the voting that he will not allow a government shutdown. It's not up to you, Chuck Schumer. It is so not up to you when this many millions of people are getting hurt. Children in the schools are getting hurt. Do you not see what's going on? Millions of people are getting hurt. Funding is getting cut. It's already what's it called? Trickling down to communities that needed the help. People are getting laid off. They're about to go attack all the universities over DEI. 50 universities. Now that y'all swore in the Department of Education, I will never forgive you guys. I will never forgive any of you. I will never forgive you. I will never forgive you. Democrats from all corners look to pressure senators to kill the bill. When have you seen this many citizens get involved in how y'all pass a CR? Half of us just learned what the hell a CR is. Thank God to Jasmine Crockett explaining it to us. And now we know y'all still got to go back in September and vote on the real budget. But meanwhile, you gave them an open check. Y'all not even explaining this shit to us right. Jasmine Crockett got online and explained it to us. What it was, what the CR is, what's been happening, and all the things. I haven't seen you say anything, Chuck Schumer, except that you're going to agree with the Republicans. Gary Peters, I had no idea you was coming out the woodwork like this. I would have been called your office, you down the street. You wasn't on the original list of the ones that said that they were going to side with the Republicans. I'm ashamed of you. I'm glad you're retiring. Get John Fetterman, I swear to God, you got to go. Pennsylvania. Y'all need to get rid of this man. He ain't good for nothing for nobody. And this is not liberals or big lefties or big whatever. This is about standing on business. This is why Black women said we done, right? This is why the 92% said we done, because y'all foolish. This ain't got nothing to do with the 92%. If the 92% was voting, we would have stood on business like we did before. But we got all these pasty colored people not standing on business, representing our communities. Y'all got to go. Y'all got to go. The American people sent Democrats to Congress to fight against Republican dysfunction and chaos, said a letter from 66 House Democrats to Schumer. He ignored it. He is so done. This is the last of his whole career. He is done. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries and his team dashed back to the Capitol, urging senators to block the bill and negotiate a true compromise with Republicans. Shut it down. I've been sending that to all of y'all. Some Democrats also argued that Republicans would take the blame for it. I don't care who takes the blame. We don't care. Y'all been blaming Black folks for years about stuff. Do you think that makes us stop? That is the stupidest thing. Y'all worried about y'all social status. Don't nobody give a damn who they blaming about stuff. Oh, they might blame us for this and blame. No. Educated people understand what's going on. The other people, we can't help them if they don't get it. This was the time for you to stand 10 toes down and prove you deserve to be in them seats that you've been voted into. This was also the time for you to stand 10 toes down to prove that you're not going to back down when the going gets tough. This was the first test. The first test. And y'all lost. So that means they know they can push y'all little bum asses around. Some Democrats argued that Republicans would take the blame for the shutdown, given the control of all the levers of power in Congress and the White House. If you refuse to put forward an offer that includes any Democratic input and you don't get Democratic votes, that's on Republicans, said Senator Patty Murray, the top Democrat on the Senate Appropriations Committee. 100%, Patty. In contrast, Schumer picked up one unexpected nod of support from Trump himself. If you're ever on the side of Trump, you on the wrong side. It's not rocket science. In contrast, Schumer picked up one unexpected nod of support from Trump himself, who just a day earlier was gearing up to blame Democrats for any shutdown. Let them blame you. Stand in the fire. Stand in the fire. Let them blame you. You be okay. Punks. Congratulations to Chuck Schumer for doing the right thing. Took guts and courage. You on the right side of Trump, punk ass. Schumer has acknowledged the difficult choice he faced, but insisted Democrats would not allow a government shutdown. Who you speaking for, Schumer? Who you speaking for? Schumer has acknowledged the difficult choice he faced, but insisted Democrats would not allow a government shutdown and warned of the havoc Trump and Musk could bring if federal offices shuttered. How about we go and find it out? How about we test the waters? Trump is a big liar, number one. He's a big liar, and he called his bluff. You see how Canada called his bluff, and what he do? Back down. Trump is a waffler. Trump is a windmiller. Trump got more bark than bite. Mexico and Canada called his bluff. And what did he do? Back down. This was your first fight. I have no confidence in this party. Congratulations to Chuck Schumer on the right side of Trump. Schumer has acknowledged the difficult choice he faced, but insisted Democrats would not allow a government shutdown and warned of the havoc Trump and Musk could bring if federal offices shuttered. They're not even letting y'all in the offices. Remember standing outside the Department of Education, and y'all standing outside got Maxine Waters yelling at the top of her lungs while Homeland Security blocking the door. Y'all not even in the federal offices. Y'all, they have punked y'all so damn bad. Y'all need to go. Y'all need to go. Punk asses. A shutdown will allow Dodge to shift into overdrive. He's about to shift into overdrive. Anyways, you haven't been able to stop him. Schumer said, referring to the Musk-led Department of Donald Trump and Elon Musk would be free to destroy vital government services at a much faster rate. No, do it and see what happens. The government is shut down. Offices are closed. Period. Congress has been unable to pass the annual appropriations bill designed to fund the government, so they're resorting to passing short-term extensions. What you gonna do the next time? I hope all y'all gone by then. The legislation before the Senate is third such continuing resolution for the current fiscal year, now nearly half over. They playing with you, and they playing in our faces, and they playing with you. And y'all sitting up there getting played with. This is foolishness. The legislation would fund the federal government through the end of September. It would not trim, it would trim non-defense spending by about 13 billion from the previous year. And they just 13 billion and increase defense spending by about 6 billion, which are marginal changes when talking about a top line spending level of nearly 1.7 trillion. The Republican-led House passed the Senate bill, the spending bill on Tuesday and then adjourned. The move left senators with the decision to either take it or leave it. You should have left it. And while Democrats have been pushing for a vote on the fourth short-term extension, GOP leadership made clear that the option was a non-starter. Senate Majority Leader John Thune from South Dakota and others made the case that any blame for a shutdown would fall squarely on Democrats. Our shoulders are wide. We can take it. Don't nobody give a damn about opinions from a foolish. The other thing is, first of all, we have the dumbest president in office ever. That's number one. And number two, we have weak ass Republicans that can't even go against this man. So who cares what they think about you? Who cares? Who cares what they think about you? Democrats need to decide if they're going to support funding legislation that came from over from the House, or if they're going to shut down the government. Y'all should have shut it down. Progressive groups urge Democratic lawmakers to instead insist on a 30-day extension and oppose the spending bill. That's what you should have did. Oh, saying business as usual must not continue. Hello. Here's the thing. It is white people that categorize people. So you got progressive groups, you've got liberal groups, you've got radical groups, you've got radical leftists, you've got a conservative GOP. Take all of the adjectives away, right? And fight for the people. I don't care. Fight for the people. Y'all so busy categorizing people and trying to put people are fighting for people. Progressive, liberal, leftist, whatever. People are fighting for people. Stop worrying about what they call you. Stop worrying about what you look like, and worry about what your people think about you in the places that you represent. Because I swear to God, y'all about to get voted out. There is still time, said Rep. Melanie Stansbury of New Mexico, a House Democrat. So any of my colleagues in the Senate who are considering voting on cloture, the American people are shouting, please do not hand the keys over to Elon Musk. But Schumer said Trump would seize more. Pussy ass. You need to go. Schumer, you need to go. You too old and you too scared. You need to go. Schumer said Trump would seize more power during a shutdown because it would give the administration the ability to deem whole agencies, programs, and Trump is a punk. He always barks louder than he bites. If you didn't learn that from Canada pushing back or Mexico pushing back, you should have learned it from China. Trump ain't got nothing done. He hasn't got his agenda has not been completed. As much as he's done, maybe 10% has gotten through. And when Mexico, Canada, and China pushed back, Trump sat down. Democrats have been critical. I already donated AP. Democrats have been critical of funding levels in the bill, but they are more worried about the discretion the bill gives the Trump administration on spending decisions. I can't even read these words. Y'all pushed it through so y'all can sit up and be worried. Many Democrats are referring to the measure as a blank check for Trump. I hope all y'all people in y'all areas get what they deserve for voting y'all in. Gary Peters, you gonna have you in trouble when you get back. That's why you announced your retirement. We done with you. We done with you. I don't even know how you took your butt up there and voted yes. Spending bills typically come with specific fund. This is pissing me off so bad. Spending bills normally come with specific funding directives for key programs, but hundreds of those directives fall away under the continuing resolution passed by the House. So the administration will have more leeway to decide where the money goes. That's why you should have voted on the continuing resolution. For example, a Democratic member said the bill would allow administration to steer money away from combating fentanyl and instead use it on mass deportation initiatives. Democrats also object to clawing back $20 billion in special IRS funding on top of the $20 billion rescission approved the year before through legislation passed by Democrats during Joe Biden's presidency. The spending bill before the Senate is separate from the GOP efforts to extend tax cuts for individuals passed in Trump's first term and to partially pay for them with spending cuts elsewhere in the government. The second package will be developed in the months ahead, but it was clearly part of the political. Yeah, they set y'all up. They set y'all up for failure, and that's y'all walked right into the setup. We're looking at a 1-2 punch, a very bad CR, then a reconciliation bill coming down, which would be the final kick in the teeth for the American people. Bernie Sanders said, and he voted no. Democrats are fighting to withhold the paychecks of air traffic controllers, our troops, federal custodial staff. Cotton said they can't be serious. Senator Cotton from Arkansas said the Democratic arguments for voting against the bill were hypocritical. It wasn't hypocritical because this is not good. Senators also announced they will be voting on a bill to fix an unexpected provision in the spending measure that hit the District of Columbia. The spending, and how they're bullying the District of Columbia. This is so ridiculous. Man, I don't like bullies. I really don't like bullies. And they're just letting these people just bully. They want to. The spending package effectively forced the district to revert to prior year's budget levels, requiring a cut of some $1.1 billion over the months ahead. Even though the district raises most of its own money, Mayor Muriel Bowser objected, and residents have been flooding senators' offices. The Senate bill, which would go to the House next, would reverse the provision and allow the spending at 2025 levels. Mayor Muriel, you better fight for it because these mugs ain't gonna fight. That's that on that. That's that on that. People losing their jobs all over the place. And I'm just pissed. Hey, y'all. So, yeah, I'm mad. I hope none of those senators that voted for it even ever know peace. Eccentric dreams, I agree. It's disgusting. It is. It's disgusting they voted on it. I'm not looking. It ain't no bigger picture. If they didn't vote for the CR, government would have shut down. Exactly, Miss V. They needed to shut the government down. Trump would have never opened it back. Yeah, right. He would have opened it back up. He would have opened it back. Explain to me how, if the government got shut down, it would have never gotten back open. Thought you focused on banking, didn't know you were a femme Nazi demo rat to the black community. Hey, Ken Jr. Shaheen and Peters are. I know Peters is not running. I don't know anything about Shaheen. Gray matters. They could have voted. They could have. Gary announced his retirement already. He gonna be replaced, and I'm assuming that because Gary Peters, we love Gary Peters for real. But I'm assuming that he probably did put in his retirement that he's leaving office because he don't want to be bothered with this kind of craziness over the next 4 years. Because he know when he come back to Detroit, as much as he be over there in over there at General Motors, be over there at the plants, be over there with all, he gonna have some explaining to do, Gary Peters. So I'm pretty sure that's why he announced his retirement. You know, I ain't never been disappointed in anything Gary Peters have done, but today. So yeah, it's like, yeah. So you're and I don't understand why Miss V is saying that if they would have shut down the government, Trump would have never opened it back up. Like, what? You need to explain that to me. I don't understand that. Right? So, So now what? Now where do we go from here, right? Right? Uh-huh. They haven't even put the money out from last year. All right. And yeah, no. So I'm very upset with this. Very, very, very upset. So all y'all in these states where these people are, vote them out. These people need to go. And they didn't even take it to green. They didn't even take it to midnight. Y'all could at least kept it going till midnight. Y'all had all day. Trump-backed bill passes Senate averting a government shutdown. What was the Senate passes fix to avert DC budget cuts? Trump-backed bill. What was the Trump-backed bill? Well, I guess that was the budget bill. All right, that's all I got. I've been on this all day. I ain't got nothing else. I'm upset, but I just want to come on and say that 31 minutes I was fussing. All right, well that's enough for today. It's Friday. TGIF. Enjoy your weekend. You know, Monday's gonna be a little bit different. Like, share, subscribe, support my page, please. I'm trying to grow it. Yes, yes, yes. I've been out here about 45 days tough. So I'm trying to grow it. We got more things we want to do, more things we want to share, more things we want to have fun with. Right now I'm not having fun today, but TGIF. See you guys maybe tomorrow, but definitely Monday. Talk to you later. Have a great one. Bye.